After I was in this condition, in this disease problem, I felt strong enough to try again and go on the ship and continue with my life. I got a contract. I was in the North Sea working on a cruise ship for Cyprus. And we just finished the hardest show, ABBA show. We were practicing for about a month, maybe more. We were so happy that we have the first night of ABBA show and everything was just fine and everything were okay with the singing, with the dancing, with everything. The band was okay and everything was smooth. And we start from Southampton and we went up. We have to cruise to St. Petersburg for a few days. And we were already from some time on the sea, sailing. And after we finish the show, we start to celebrate and have drinking and whatever. We drink a lot. We got all drunk and we went to our cabin about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the night. After I just felt asleep, I heard a bang in the door. Wake up, wake up, wake up, fire, fire. The ship is on fire. I was dizzy, I didn't know what's happening, I'm dreaming. I opened the door and I've seen smoke rushing on the ceiling. I realized that it is a fire, so I took my life jacket. I was only in underpants and a t-shirt. And the guy rushed me, come, fast. You don't, if you breathe this smoke, it will affect you. You have to go fast. And I just ran outside. I was on my knees down, trying not to inhale that smoke. I barely could see in the front of me, like it was so dense, the smoke. The lights went off and everything was just chaos. Everybody was screaming and I went up a few decks. I was team leader. I went to my lifeboat station and everybody was in shock. Nobody could believe that this is happening to us. So I tried to calm everybody down, but I was still dizzy and from the alcohol and from just waking up and from the smoke, and people was running around and screaming and crying. And we went outside on the open deck near to our lifeboats. We could see the fire coming out from the furnace of the ship. Everybody believed that we will die. We could not lower the lifeboats because we was sailing through the ice, and the people in charge said that this is dangerous for the moment because we can just flip and fall in the freezing water. We were up somewhere. It was ice. It was cold, 1 degree. And I was only in underpants and I was scared, and it was night. and I heard the explosion. The ship tried to sail through that ice, and they forced the engine, and the engine got fire and exploded, and I could see the explosion coming up. We were all afraid. And in that situation, I don't know why, I prayed to God. And I said, God, if you exist, help me go out from this situation. Help me. Save my life. And if you will save my life, I will straighten, I will give up this lifestyle. I will get married, I will have a family, I will be a normal guy. Just save me. And after a few hours, other vessels came there and they start to board us, and firemen came and helicopters came and they took control of the fire and we were safe. And we sailed back to Southampton and I kissed the ground and I said, I will never work on the ship again. I went up in the office and I quit. And I've never went back to work on the ship ever again from that time. After I came home, I was in depression, I believe, or I could not come back to myself. I was like lost in that accident somehow for so long. And I was sick and I was miserable. It was bad. My mom tried to help me. I've been to doctors and they test me and they give me a lot of diseases. Like, they not give me, they told me that I have acute rhinitis or hepatic steatosis, problem with thyroid, problem with the kidney, chronic ulcerative colitis, depression, panic attacks, blackouts. More than 21 chronic diseases I had over the course of a year and a half. But when I came home, I kept my promise, and I had a girlfriend that she wanted me to be her husband. So I kept my promise and I married her. And I started working something different than singing. I didn't want to have anything with singing because it brought me back all this life that I had before and all the images. And I quit singing. I started work as a director of sailing. And after a year, I started to work as an IT specialist in a company. But I was still in the same problems, health problems, addiction problems, mental issues. And I could not come back to myself. I was lost somehow. My mom tried to help me with doctors, even we have been to witches and wizards, they made so many rituals with me. I never been a religious guy, but when you're so sick and the doctor said that they don't know what to do, so what else, they gave me a lot of medicines and treatments and whatever. I've been there and I tried to found some kind of religious relief, but I was mistaken because I didn't know different between Christians and wizards, and all the spirituality was mixed up in my mind. Too much National Geographic, too much TV. I was working in a company in 2010 and my car broke up, was broken. I could not go with my car at the job, so it was between Christmas and New Year. Somebody offered me to pick me up and to give me this ride. It was a few kilometers from outside the city. So a lady that she just took her driver lessons and she had her first car took me from the morning with the car and we drove to the job. And she liked to go with speed. She liked to drive fast. And after we went out from the city where she could go high speed, in one curve she lost control of the car because it was an icy road, and the car started to turn around, and it was a second hand car. So the car was before an accident. I did not have the airbag and the safety belt wasn't working. So she was driving about 110 kilometers an hour. It was pretty fast. And we start to turn and slide on the side of the road where the tram were, and in the middle of the tracks were those thick concrete sticks, and I could see the pole coming to me, and in that time I could see all my life passing through in front of my eyes from a very, very small age until that moment. But it was just a second, but I could see clear everything. I could smell everything. I could see all the colors. I could see everything. And I hit that concrete pole. I woke up after a few minutes, I believe. The car was bent over that concrete pole, and the girl, I woke up, I was sitting with my hands on the tracks, and I could feel shaking the tracks because the tram was near. And I turned back and I saw the car was all smashed, all the windows was, the steel was bent, and the driver, the girl, and it was another girl in the car, accountant, they were unconscious. And already the ambulance was there, and people were around me, asking me if I'm okay and if I'm okay, and I was touching me around to see if I have something broke or I have blood somewhere, and I was perfectly fine. I did not have any problem. I was just in shock. So they rushed me to hospital, and the other two girls have broken bones and they were all bad. And I was just in shock, but I have nothing. So it seems like God saved me again. And in this time, I was thinking, after I went home and I got home and I was sitting in the bed and thinking, why I'm not dying? I had so many accidents and it happened so many things to me, and I was so reckless. I did so many other things, and why I'm not just dying? And it came to me that maybe God is real and He's watching over me and He's trying to save me for something. I have like a glimpse of belief that this can be real and the world is not just an accident.